Okay guys, so I finally added the support for styles. Now a lot of you have been asking me for a very long time, and I do apologize, but I can only do so much, and I know a lot of people have been bugging me. So here you go. This is what I've implemented, and I hope you like it. So from the main interface, we go to Tools, and then we go to, is it Tools? No, sorry, it's Configuration. Okay, so Configuration and Manage Style Templates. Okay, so this screen shows up and we have Template and we have Format. So click on Template and then click Open. Now these are all the style templates. Now just in case you don't know, styles are similar to the styles sheets that are used in Word, and you can basically, they're themed fonts and paragraph formatting, fonts and styles and the way that they look, right? So what I've done is I've taken some of the more popular styles from my MS Word, and I'm going to show you later on how you can kind of add your own into this if you wanted to. Okay. But for now, basically you'll get a default style, you'll get elegant, you'll get traditional, and you'll get the Word 2007 style. So you'll get 4 styles, and what you can do is you can basically change these styles, you can modify these styles, you can copy the styles and create your own, or you can add a new blank style, right? So if you, let's say we look at the elegant style. Okay, we'll say elegant and we'll click open. And right now you don't see anything, but if you want to see or get a preview of the style, you can go to Format and then you can just click on Preview. So the preview is going to basically paint all the styles which are available in that style template. Okay, now if you don't like a certain style, for example heading 1, you don't like the heading 1, what you can do is you can go into Format, then you can say Manage Styles, you can select the heading 1 style, as you can see here, right? Go into Modify, and then you can see the font that's being used, which is Cambria 16, and it's normal, its color is black, etc., etc. If you don't like this, you can always modify that, and you can, once you've modified that, then you can just click Save and it will actually save. But to be honest, I wouldn't recommend that you do that to the existing styles. What I would, a better way is to basically take a copy and create your own. So I wouldn't really mess with the ones that came, unless you really really wanted to, then you can do that. That's up to you. But I would basically say, okay, if I wanted to change, say, the default style, I would say I'm going to create a copy of it, and then I can say my default style or whatever, right? Spaces are not allowed, by the way, so you can just do something like this, and then you can click OK. All right, and now you can open this and you can preview, so you can see, and then you can change the style and you can save it. Okay, so that's basically how you do the styles. The other thing that you can do here is you can set a default style. So if you don't want this to be the default, you can select let's say this style here, and you can just say set as default, so that becomes the default. Now I'll show you where the default shows up, but let's just set this back. Okay, we'll click close and we'll click exit here. Okay, so the way the styles are used is that when you create a chapter, so I'm just going to create a quick chapter, I'll just call it chapter 1. See over here, this is the new drop down. So the default is the one that is selected. Okay, now if you don't want this style, you can always drop down and pick a style. So you can say, I want this one to be the style used for this chapter. Okay, and then you can click OK. and this will become your this will become the style that you're using. Now actually it might be useful if we showed the style which is being used here, but maybe I'll add this in a future release. Just thought I'm always thinking of things to add to the product to make it more intuitive. Okay, so now watch what happens. Let's add another one. Let's say add chapter 2. Okay, now let's say that you have a default style, but for this particular book you don't want to go into the configuration and change the default style, but for this book or the rest of the chapters you want to use a particular style. Let's say traditional style. Okay, you want to use this. So all you need to do is check this box saying use selected style for all chapters and sections, right? And you click OK. So this traditional style is used for chapter 2. Now if I create a new chapter 3, look over here, it selected the traditional style because we selected this, right? So you don't have to set this up as default. If it's just for this book, you can use this technique. Okay, now let's say that for the first 3 chapters we use that. Now for the subsequent chapters, chapter 4, okay, for chapter 4 you don't want to use this anymore. You want to go back to default, or you want to use something else. So what you need to do is uncheck this, right? Then you need to pick another style. Let's say we're going to pick elegant this time, and then you check this back. Okay, so now we are going to use this style for this chapter and all subsequent chapters being used. If you just want to use this style for this chapter and you want to basically not bother with like changing, you want to still keep the previous style, then you don't check this. Just use this for this chapter. You click this. Now for this chapter 5, look what will happen. See, it goes back to, actually it went back to default, which is kind of weird. But anyway, I think it's just a sequence that I did this in, right? So let's say I want to go Word 2007, I'll click this, I'll click OK, and for chapter 6, so we have Word 2007, which is fine. Now for chapter 7, let's just say C7, I don't want to use this. I want to use temporarily, I just want to use elegant. So I'll click elegant, I'll click OK. So if I go back, I still have this because this was selected before, but if I want to change this now, right, to a new one, I uncheck, I pick elegant, and I'll check this again, and now I'll click OK. So now going forward, so C9, see, going forward, now we've got the elegant style. Anyway, I think once you kind of start using this, it's a kind of advanced feature, but I think you'll get the hang of it. It's pretty intuitive to use, but that's how you use styles, and I hope you find the styles useful, because I know that a lot of you guys asked me for them, and so that's what I've added. So okay, great. So we'll see you in the next video.